Hey, I'm Si.
My name is Gus, we're from Young Guns, and you're watching So Fucking Cool.
All right, so if it can't cool here with Simon and Gus from Young Guns, how you guys doing today?
Good, mate.
Good, thank you, yeah.
So how's everything going for you so far? The tour has been going really good, and it wraps up in about 10 days. How's the States been treating you?
Yeah, it's been amazing. We've been on tour for about 5 weeks now, and we're with these guys at Yumi at Six. They're actually good friends of ours from back home. And as we've never actually toured together, so this is actually the first time that we're kind of doing the whole country together.
Yeah, it's funny because we're from the same area completely, but this is, like Si says, the first time we've ever toured. It would be like the furthest place away that we basically could do a tour together in.
So all our UK fans are like, for God's sake, why can't you do a tour back here? Like, it has to be in America, of course, but it's just, I guess it's a case of everyone being free at the same time, and it's managed to kind of work this
It's been
time
amazing, hasn't it? It's been so much fun, and for us it's been like the most productive tour that we've ever done, you know. So we can see a build over here now in the audience, and every night's been great.
It's got to be a good feeling though too. I mean, you're away from home, you're a little bit homesick, and you got someone that you know on the road with you, especially here in the States.
Well, that's the thing, like, you know, in most situations when you're on tour, if you go on tour for like a long period of time, which happens to be the case when you do go to America, such a big country, you do have moments where you have kind of like little things that you do miss from home, and sure, that still happens, but when you're on tour with just a bunch of good friends, it's almost you have that little bit of home with you at all times, and so it doesn't really feel like we're missing home too much because we've got the luxury of having our friends out on tour with us, which is perfect.
Yeah, it's really good, man. Like, we all get together and watch the football every weekend. Like, we all support different English football clubs, and little tastes of home like that keep you kind of sane on the road.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Now you mentioned your UK fans were a little bit jealous of this tour in general, but they got to be jealous of the whole thing because this is an intimate setting. You know, I mean, you guys are playing Wembley Stadium when you guys go back home. You know what I mean? You guys
I mean, Yumi at Six for sure, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a kind of a luxury to be able to kind of like scale it back, and it's exciting as well because, you know, we're still relatively a kind of new band over here, and we're still like pushing it quite hard, and so we're at that stage where we might be playing to like 50 people, we might be playing to like 200-300 people. Kind of it does differ kind of from show to show, but more than anything, it just kind of reminds you to when you kind of started out in the UK and kind of growing the fan base organically. And it's, you know, I guess you can see it in a way of, they're not big shows, but to us it's just as exciting because it's like doing it from the ground up.
A good show or a bad show isn't determined by how many people are in the room. You know, a good or bad show is determined by how much fun those people in that room have, right? And that could be an arena, or it could be a club show, or whatever. Like, a good show is still a good show, and we're at the beginning of our career over here, and we love that intimacy, the sweat, you know, and the energy of like a tight club atmosphere. Like, you can't beat that, I don't think. So.
No, definitely. It's got to keep you guys a little bit humble. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like when you're used to doing one thing where you're from, and you come over to the States, and it's a whole. Like you said, you're starting basically back up over here.
Yeah, but I guess it just comes down to, you know, whether you enjoy doing what you do. I mean, we love what we do, and so it's certainly not a chore for us, you know, regardless of, you know, the size of the crowd. It's really just we just get to love, you know, playing our music in front of as many people as possible.
Yeah.
You know, so.
We're a pretty grounded bunch of guys anyway. I think most bands these days are, because you know, the excess of the music industry is not what it was. You know, it's a different universe now, and we like the hard work of it. We like, you know, the grind, like getting up every day in a new place, working hard every day to connect with your audience.
It makes it feel real as well.
It's very real, and it's kind of a fundamental part of the process, and we like that.
Very cool, very cool. One thing people gotta understand is, yes, you guys are rock stars. Yes, you guys get to go every day, but it is a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wake up, you're doing press right now. You're setting up the bus. You're meeting the fans. You gotta play. You know, you only got that much time basically to yourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a constant machine that you guys have.
Yeah, no, it doesn't stop. You know, it's relentless. It just steamrolls forwards. But again, like,
You wouldn't change it, would you?
No, man. And like, the worst thing to be in a band is not busy.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like, that's not a good place to be in. You want to be busy. You want people to want your time and all that stuff. So we consider it a privilege.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
Now, like you said, with it keeping on rolling, you guys stop in 10 days. You take a little bit of time off, and you guys are right back on the road again. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we go back to the UK, and we play in Wembley Arena with Bring Me the Horizon in December the 5th or the 6th. And then I guess we'll have a couple of weeks over Christmas to prepare, get everything together. We're just finishing mixing the record right now. And then that'll be out in February, so we're looking at the start of next year, hopefully coming straight back over here and kicking off 2015 with a new album and a bunch of touring.
Very nice, very nice. So that's definitely going to be a lot of touring when we get the new release out there.
Yes.
So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
this day and age, touring is the way to
You can't
get it
stop.
in there. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely.
Before it was go to the store and get the record. Now these kids click a button and there it is. So
Yeah.
if you guys actually want to get paid for what you're doing,
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
be on the road. quite a bit
Absolutely.
there.
She's always nice.
Sure. Yeah.
But you know what? I think that there's no substitute for kind of putting your feet on the ground and going out there. You know, meeting people and one by one, if necessary. That's how you build an audience, and that's how you build something that you can sustain. You know, like I always say that all the marketing and the strategizing that people like at labels do. That's of course it's important and we appreciate that. But for us, it's a very simple process. Just get on a stage, play your heart out, meet everyone in that room that wants to meet you, go and do it again and again and again and again, and build it organically. And I think that, yeah, like we were saying, it's cool. We love doing it.
February, so the release comes out then?
Yeah.
You guys got a title for it yet?
We do. We're not allowed to announce it.
We're not allowed to
Not
say
yet.
because like we'd love to say, but you know we'll just get in trouble, won't we?
Yeah, basically.
we'll just get.
Like I say, all the smart people doing the planning and the marketing and strategizing, they're the people that will be giving us a slap if we.
Well, with that being said, when they do get that release and people want to find out, the best way to do it is your social media, your website, which
Correct.
is going to be.
Yeah. Well.
WeAreYoungGuns.com.
That's
yeah.
like our portal, so you can hit all our social networking through that, or our Twitter is Young Guns UK, and our Instagram
Is
is
Young
the
Guns
same.
UK as well, yeah.
And our Facebook
It's exactly the same.
Facebook.com/Young Guns UK as well.
Now, do you guys try any of the tracks out now when you're doing this tour right here, or you guys just?
We're doing 2 new songs.
Yeah.
One of which is our new single, I Want Out, and then the next one is a song that no one will have heard unless they've been on this tour. So it's good fun, man. Like, you know, we just want to play all the new album right now, but
Right.
you got to be careful because it gets uploaded onto YouTube or whatever, and then the album's out there.
Yeah.
So we're playing as much as we can get away with right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's cool because it kind of, just playing a couple of new songs kind of like teases the crowd, but also, you know, it kind of, you start to learn the kind of dynamics of it on stage from a live perspective as well. You know, you can have a song that you've written in the studio and like you've heard it in your cans, but when it comes to actually playing the song, which you're going to do for hopefully as many years as possible, you want to start to gauge like how the crowd reacts, how the song works with the crowd, and then kind of develop on that really. So it's kind of cool in that sense as well.
Very cool, very cool. Now you mentioned with the song fans possibly uploading. It's this generation, man. It's a different thing. When you guys are out there, I'm sure all you see is the cell phones out there.
Oh man,
It's like, who's
and
watching?
iPads as well.
Yeah, right. It's like watch us, guy. Leave it
Yeah,
alone
yeah.
for 2 seconds, please.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But you know, I think that we live in the world we live in, and you can kind of rail against it, or you can try and hopefully use it to your advantage. As long as you're smart, I think it's okay. You know, kids want to, especially when money is hard to come by. People want to come to shows, and for better or worse, they want to film it and they want a record of that. And I'm like, all right, it's not what I want to do, it's not what I do, but.
I mean, you get it, don't you? Because I think people just want everything. They want to make the most out of every situation, which is fair enough. But because of the day and because of the kind of life we live at the moment, you know, you're always going to have people that want to kind of document a video or whatever. And that, you know, I've got no problem with that because that only helps us with our music get out to a larger number of people. So that's definitely the biggest positive. But I guess like it
It's
has.
only because they give a shit, right?
Of course, yeah,
They're
yeah,
stoked,
yeah.
You know, I'd rather have them crowd surf than film a
Of
song.
course, yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, we try and get them doing both.
Yeah, absolutely. You just got to crowd surfing while
With
they've
your
got the
iPad.
iPad. Yeah. As long as they're having a good time and making the most of the moment, that's all that matters, I guess.
Very nice, very nice. Now the website one more time so everyone knows.
It's weareyoungguns.com. That's the website, and then like, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, it's just Young Guns UK. So it's just pretty easy.
Great. All right, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.